Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us His truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the World War III Daily Update. Last one for this week. Shalom and salutations to you as well. We're going to start right here. Joel 3. And we'll just start at 9, okay, because this is World War III. All right. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war, as in World War III. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. This is what's going on all over the world right now. All right. Different battlefronts. You got Eastern Europe. You got the South China Sea, which is China and Taiwan. You got the Korean Peninsula, north and south. You got Ethiopia, Tigray, and Eritrean, however you want to say it. Or you got Turkey, Greece. All right. You got Babylon the Great, which is America against Russia. All right. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. You got the Middle East and Iran, who supposedly doesn't have nuclear weapons. Of course they do. And you got the so-called Israelis threatening them right in the Middle East. Okay? Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. All right, so all of this is World War III up till right here. Thither, what is this? Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. O Lord is O Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. That's God. God, this is saying now, in the middle of World War III, now bring your soldiers, your army, God, into the war. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down. Come down from space. Come down out of the fourth dimension. Okay? So all of this is World War III. Okay, we're going to qualify it. First, we're going to go here. Okay? So all the people in World War III, all the armies, right? Let's get this real quick. God said, I will gather the armies of the world into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, all the armies of the world. Now we'll go to Revelation 19. Revelation 19 and 19. All the armies of the world, right? And I saw the beast and the kings of the earth. Okay, so the beast is NATO and the EU. The kings of the earth are all of the nations and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and his army. Who sat on the horse and against his army? Who sat on the horse and who is his army? The rider on the white horse. And I saw heaven opened, the fourth dimension. And behold, a white horse, what they call a UFO. And he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True. And in righteousness doth he judge. Who's going to judge? And make war. Okay? And his name, I'm going to jump down, his name is called the Word of God. Everybody knows the Word is the one you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the ancient Hebrew. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. Okay? Those are the angels. So Jesus and the angels are going to get into the war, World War III. They're going to stop fighting each other in World War III. They're going to gather themselves together, and try to make war against the angels and the one you ignorantly call Jesus. Okay? We're going to show you what will be the outcome of that war. But first, let's qualify this, okay? Diamond shape, this is Looking Glass Project, right? 2 months ago. Diamond-shaped UAPs hovering silently. All right, now this is the crosshairs of a Navy jet, okay? The crosshairs of a Navy jet. And what is this in the crosshairs? That's an angel in his chariot. Looks like this. Come on. All right, look at Satan. Come on, Satan. All right, so here is a depiction of the war in heaven. The war in heaven. Heaven is the sky in this instance. These are Satan and his blue angels. This is Michael and his angels. Satan and his angels. Michael and his angels. Okay. Here, okay, is that in real time. Right here in the crosshairs, getting a radar lock so they can fire a missile, is the Blue Angels. Okay. This is the crosshairs of this. This is that. Okay. Now we're going to watch a little bit of this, and we're going to listen to high-level intelligence, high-level military. Who's the highest level of the military? The President of the United States. He's the Commander-in-Chief. All right, so let's watch this. You see that? Okay. What is that? Is that one thing or is that 7 things? Bunch of angels out there. Wait a minute, did you see that? Okay, here we have what you call a UFO, which are the chariots of Israel. But what was this? Did you catch that? Oh, there it is. That's Satan and his angel. That's the dragon, great red dragon, and his angels, blue angels, if you will. See that? What's that? They're going to tell you what it is. First, let's listen. Footage and first, let's listen to the Commander-in-Chief admit to you what's going on. Now, this looks perfectly symmetrical, does it not? When I say symmetrical, I mean this looks perfect, but this don't look perfect. It looked like something was blurred right here. Okay, that looks blurred right there. Anyway, go ahead. There's footage and records of objects in the skies that we don't know exactly what they are. We can't explain how they moved, their trajectory. They did not have an easily explainable path. This is the head of the military, the commander of the WACs, the commander-in-chief of all the militaries here in Babylon, here in America. This is John Ratcliffe, former director of national intelligence. This is the highest level. Okay, what is he going to say?
Frankly, there are a lot more sightings than have been made public. So we're talking about objects that, frankly, engage in actions that are difficult to explain, that movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for.
You're outgunned.
Well, we have things flying over military installations.
Over what, Senator? Say that again, Senator. Over what installations? What's going on here? This is about the military at the highest level.
We don't have the technology for.
Well, we have things flying over military installations, over military exercises, and other places. And we
military installations, exercises, and what did you, and other places. Why don't you say, and over nuclear missile bases? You left that out there, Senator. And other places, yeah. Other places of great importance, like nuclear missile silos, controlling the missiles themselves, controlling the launch systems, shutting them down, okay? Making them launch, getting all the way down to 3, and then shutting the system down. You're not going to say that, but it's out there.
Well, it is. It isn't ours. It isn't anything that's registered with the FAA, and in many cases exhibits attributes of things we've never seen, technology, the kinds of technology we haven't seen before, or at least that's what it seems like.
So it's not us. That's one thing we know. We know that. I could say that with a very high degree of confidence, in part because of the positions I held in the department, and I know the process.
Well, I don't believe they're coming from foreign adversaries. If they were, why, that would suggest that they have a technology which is in a whole different sphere than anything we understand. And frankly, China and Russia just aren't there. And either are we, by the way.
See this? Now they're going to show a picture of it with something up here.
Recently, a shocking UFO photograph that was thought to have been lost has been resurfaced by journalist and academic Dr. David Clark. After 32 years of intensive investigation, the photo was finally found in the hands of former Royal Air Force press officer Craig Lindsay. The photo allegedly was taken around 9 p.m. on August 4, 1990, by 2 hikers on a hillside near Calvine, Pitlochry, UK, about 35 miles northwest of Perth in Scotland. The 2 men reportedly claimed to have observed a metallic-looking object hovering and producing what seemed to be a low-frequency humming noise. They claimed that Harrier jets were making passes in the
They claim that what? That a military jet, a Harrier, right, that hovers on takeoff, etc. Look like there's a bunch of missiles and shit on there. Okay, excuse my French. Shite. I'm a German. Okay, military. So if we take it back a little bit, there's that same fight. It's a military plane and the chariots of Israel. The angels. Okay, this fight been going on.
object hovering and producing what seemed to be a low-frequency humming noise. They claimed that Harrier jets were making passes in the distance while they viewed the unexplainable phenomenon. After about 10 minutes of remaining completely stationary in the sky, the unknown craft propelled straight up into the atmosphere at an extremely high speed that seemed impossible.
Whoa!
There are apparently 5 more photographs that were taken and reported along with this one, and they may also surface in the near future. The emergence of this photo has fueled quite a huge debate on the UFOs subreddit, with many people claiming that image shows signs of being a reflection or illusion off of a body of water, like a lake or pond. Some of these arguments have even seemed pretty convincing. However, If you look on a map at the exact location this image was taken, you will quickly notice that there are no bodies of water in the immediate area. In fact, the only bodies of water nearby the site are a few locks that are located much too far away from the area to be photographed. Different filters and techniques, including artificial intelligence, have been used to try and analyze the image, with the latter yielding some very entertaining results.
Oh, the ladder. Is that the ladder there? What does that look like? What does that look like there?
Using the known aircraft in the photo, as well as distance for scale.
Okay, so enough of that. Let's go to this real quick. Oh, you just saw pictures of UFOs. Let's go to the Looking Glass Project and see what they got. Like 4 videos. This one says a month ago, UFO sightings over. Ooh, I can't rewind. Can I focus up on that? Ukraine war zone. Scotland flying discs and hyper. Let's take a look at this.
During the many long months that Russia and Ukraine have been engaged in terrible war, UFO sightings have seemed to dramatically increase in the area. Allegedly, Ukrainian astronomers have observed and reported fast-moving or low-visibility objects in the daytime sky over Kyiv and the surrounding villages. Astronomers have reportedly witnessed dozens of objects appearing over Kyiv and Vinarivka, using specially calibrated cameras at 2 separate weather stations, officially stating that the sightings cannot scientifically be identified as known natural phenomena.
I don't believe those are real.
The team went on to state that they observe a significant number of objects whose nature is not clear. They see them everywhere. The researchers divided their UAP observations into 2 categories: cosmics and phantoms. According to the report, cosmics are luminous objects that are brighter than the background sky. These objects are designated with birds' names such as Swift, Falcon, and Eagle, and have been observed flying solo as well as in squadrons. Phantoms, by contrast, are dark objects, usually appearing completely black, as if absorbing all light falling onto them. The researchers estimated that phantoms range from 10 to 40 feet wide and can travel at speeds of up to 33,000 miles per hour. That is around twice the speed of an intercontinental ballistic missile. The UAP sightings continue to be independently corroborated by 2 astronomical observatories. This piece of recent footage shows what appears to be a mysterious hovering object just outside a northeast continental U.S. Department of Defense installation.
Okay, so this is real. All right. Now, where is it? Just outside? This is in America, but where in America? Why are these things dealing with the military?
This piece of recent footage shows what appears to be a mysterious hovering object just outside a northeast continental U.S. Department of Defense installation.
You can see it flying over the horizon. I'm going to slow it down here.
The date on the time stamp reads August 27, 2022, and you can clearly hear as a man seems to be presenting the footage to a department or higher up.
August, that's about a month or so ago.
Now it's just halted in midair. And shortly I zoom in. This is where I notice it. sphere, and that's the object that I zoomed in on. I'm gonna play it again.
Looks like that ship with that
I
crown.
zoom back out because I really can't believe what I'm seeing. So I zoom back in, and as I zoom back in, it disappears there. It just fades out. And so I zoom back out to make sure that's just not a camera issue. And then it reappears. So I zoom back in immediately, and there it is again.
See the crown
And
on
as I zoom in this second time, or third time, it disappears again. And unfortunately on this phone camera, you can't see it, but it fades off gently to the right. It's very pixelated on this camera. And so I sit here for a second, wait for it to come back, and it doesn't. But it was sitting there for around 4 minutes. And as soon as I started observing it, it disappeared. And I monitored this camera for the rest of the night, and it never came back. So hopefully we can figure this out.
As the camera operator zooms in, you can see the object appears to have a diamond shape to it, with an appendage on top. Although we cannot discount the fact that this is infrared footage, and subjects can appear strange on these cameras. Regardless, the object still displays very strange characteristics, like silently hovering in the sky and quickly vanishing from
Skip it up a little.
See that?
The date.
Is that?
The fuck? It's locked.
There's two of them. Where's the other one?
Two of them?
Where's the other one? I don't know what the hell that is. That's the other one. I don't know where the other one is. It's the other one. It's the other one. Right. Just look at this one, really. What is that? What in the name of
This is actual footage.
is that?
What in the name of, okay, so, okay, let's see. Let me go back real quick. So I'm gonna just do this real quick. This photo right here. That photo, what does that look like? Well, let's see. Let's see if we can, let's see what we can do here. Let's go Google. Let's go Star Wars. Star Wars. Star. I don't know what they're called. Ship. Let's see. Ooh, this one. Now, if this was pointed at us, with this pointing straight at us, what does that look like? Let me see. Let's get some images up here. Where's that one at? See if we can get one. That thing. What's this? What is that? What's that? What's this thing here? This. Carry class battleship. Okay. That battleship right there. Look at this. What is that? Oh, that's what they put in there. Okay, they probably just put that in there. That's too identical. But see, what did they say? Is that that? Let me go back. Slovakia. Let's see. That's identical. With the last one, what was the language? Star Destroyer. that. That's Lego. Anyway, let me go back and look at that, if you don't mind. Slovakia.
Well as distance for scale.
Listen to what he says.
Different filters and techniques including artificial intelligence have been used to try and analyze the image, with the latter yielding some very entertaining results.
Okay, so that's a filter. What he said is that's a filter. Different filters. Because they're not going to show you. See how blurry that is? They're not going to show you. They might be showing you what it is right here. And I'm not saying, oh, that's what it is. I don't know what the hell it is. Okay. He said, with the latter yielding some entertaining, so that word entertainment might be, well, we're just joking, so we stuck that in there. But maybe that's what it really looks
to try and analyze the image, with the latter yielding some very entertaining results.
Okay, so there's that. And just for shits, for shites, Slovakia, and giggles, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go. I was looking at some stuff the other day. Where is it at? In my researches. There's a little short movie. Where is it? It's a little short movie. It's called Cosmic Slop. Where's Cosmic? Oh, there it is. And this is George Clinton. I'm gonna get it real quick. Let me see.
Goodbye to our dark friends and neighbors. We say hello to a new era of a...
Go watch this. Cosmic Slop by George Clinton. Right? And it's about the aliens come and they only take the black people. What is this? That's that same shit. What is it doing? Go watch Cosmic Slop, this movie. But there's that ship, and this is just a little parody, if you will, on what it says in the movies. I mean, in the scriptures. All right, and I'm stretching it out a little bit here. So with that, okay, so there's certainly, and if you go here, right, if you go, see how they got the military in there? Yeah, you got to go watch this. See how they got the military?
The Earth's psychological toll, with medical costs possibly reaching astronomical levels.
This is madness. Our military services would be decimated, depleted of 30% of our manpower.
Okay. Yeah, go watch that. Okay. So I'm going to close out with the Apocrypha. Let's go to 2 Ezra 13. And here's what's going to happen in this fight. All right. Back to this. Let's read this again real quick. Okay. Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies. That's all the armies on the face of the earth. Right? Russia, China, Babylon the Great. Okay. They all came back together. They stopped fighting one another. To do what? To fight against the so-called aliens, the so-called UFOs. All right, this is what the Bible is saying. All right, so let's find out who wins the fight. Okay, this is 2 Ezra 13. Okay. We'll start at the top. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man, who is that man? That's the one you call Jesus. His name is Yahushua, waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. So There's the one you call Jesus with the angels. Okay? And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. This is explaining the weapon systems that are on those spacecraft. The voice that went out of his mouth is a laser, high-powered laser beam that burn things. Okay? It's going to describe this in further detail. And after this, I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men. These are all the people fighting against each other in World War III, out of number from the four winds of heaven, all over the world, to subdue the men that came, to fight against the man, Jesus, who you call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua in the Hebrew, and the angels, thousands of heaven. All right? They tried to take him down, to subdue him. Okay? Now, it says, and I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain, and flew up upon it. Okay? Jump down to 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So all the armies of the world fought anyway, even though they knew that they didn't have a damn chance. Why? Because the Most High hardened their heart meaning their mind, just like he did Pharaoh, made Pharaoh fight anyway. Okay? And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held any sword nor any instrument of war. Now it's going to describe what happened in this fight and who wins. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Let's talk about the weapon systems on those so-called UFOs, those spaceships. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, all the armies of the world, and burned them up, every one. That's what happened. So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. Well, how do you know that it was World War III? And then they stopped fighting each other and tried to fight against the angels and Jesus. Okay. Jump down to 31, 2nd Ezra 13 and 31. This is World War III. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another. And here's where the angels come in, and one realm. The spiritual world, the fourth dimension, against another. Okay? Jump down here. And when all the people hear his voice, see those laser beams, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have won against another. The battle they have won against another, okay, in their own land, meaning their nation, all these different nations, China against the United States, Russia against Russia against NATO. When all the people hear his voice, when they see those lasers, they're going to stop World War. Ceasefire, truce, we got bigger fish to fry. We got to fight against these spaceships. Leave the battle they have one against another, and an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. So there's your World War III. They're going to stop fighting. They're going to wave the white flag and say, hey, we got to come together. Okay? They got to come together and fight against, let's see. They got to come together and fight against those spaceships, if you will. Where's this guy? Listen to the commander-in-chief tell you what's going to happen here.
We often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound.
Common bound. We're all going to come together. When this universal threat comes, we're going to stop fighting each other and come together and fight against this universal threat.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet I ask you, is not an alien force already among us?
Yeah, they're waking up. The children of Israel are that alien force, especially the 144,000. They're that alien force. The children of Israel, God's chosen. Okay? Yes, they're waking up as we speak. And when he turned his countenance to look at that. All things trembled that were seen under him. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. Okay, let's get that. And I beheld, this is 2 Ezra 13:3, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. They're showing you that right here. It's him turning his countenance. All right, so that's enough. We'll see you next week. We hope that the elect will edify you, brothers and few sisters. Shalom.